Hello everyone, it's me Mel with LethaleyasLittleHook with Melanie, and oh, we need more light, and we need more light. Okay, I'll be right back. Maybe that'll help, I don't know, I'll get more light. So, what are we doing today? Let's get over here, and up here, and Ziva came to join us. We are doing science. Kitchen Adventures with LethaleyasLittleHook with Melanie. Welcome to my channel if you're new. Welcome back if you're returning. We are making hot fudge today. We've already done the caramel sauce. Why not the hot fudge? So we're all set up over here. Let's go back over here. And hopefully it won't go all dark again. I'm going to turn on every light I can. So I got some recipes. We're gonna do science, because what is baking but science? For those who don't know, I used to be a pastry chef. Yeah, in the days gone by. It looks a little messy. I was sifting cocoa over the stove. Real great, right, Mel? But I got some recipes. We're going to actually do, maybe not all in one go, but I got 2 recipes. Ree Drummond, we all know her, pioneer woman. A real simple recipe. And then I got fancy schmancy recipe. Both free recipes. So if you paused it and thought, wow, I'm going to steal the recipe, joke's on you. They're free on the web. This one's fancy schmancy, calls for high-fat Dutch processed cocoa, bitter sweet chocolate, all the good stuff. We're doing that one today. So, got my saucepan. This one makes about 3 cups in total. Yes, you can only see my hands. The magic, no, they're not magic hands. So, first we add our heavy cream, all measured out. There we go. And then we're going to add our butter. Calls for unsalted. Well, the store was out of unsalted. So a little extra salt never hurt my family. And we're going to actually take that back out. My hands are completely clean. Just washed them. And back to my baking days, you actually want it in chunks. You don't want to throw a whole stick in there. Chunk it up. Chunk it up, people. No, it's better. Now I'm going to wash my hands again. Yes. Because they're gross now. Hands covered in butter and heavy cream. Yes. Okay. We also want a 1/2 cup of light brown sugar. Moving things around. I don't have a lot of workspace over here. I'm going to get a lot of workspace, but I don't have it yet. There's my 1/2 cup. Brown sugar has been sitting a while, so it's a bit chunky. Pack it in there. Always pack your brown sugar. Yep. And then scrape off the top. In it goes. And 3/4 cup granulated. Mix in our sugars. So, I gotta get new measuring. Ooh, yep, have that on the list. Grocery shopping tomorrow. New measuring, containers. I need to get new containers. Anybody has any tips on where to get some new containers? Would love to know. And we need some salt. Fine sea salt, it says. Excuse me a sec. Get my sea salt grinder. Set it to fine. And about 1/4 teaspoon. I like a little more salt, but we've got salt in the butter. And then mix, so kind of get those mixed in there and bring to a simmer over medium-low heat, which is about a 2 on my or this burner. And simmer for 45 seconds, which I'm going to guess is going to melt the butter. After 45 seconds, add the chocolate and whisk to dissolve. Now the chocolate is going to be 2 ounces of bittersweet chocolate. The only bittersweet chocolate any of my local stores sold is the Ghirardelli. So that's what we've got. Bougie. Right, Granny D? So I'm going to break this up into chunks right now because it calls for small pieces. And I will be right back. Alexa, stop. I'm going to stir this so that the butter melts up. Get off! Butter in a cage. If you don't know me, I am a bit odd, bit funny, you could say. Ask anyone around the YouTube streets who might know me. Yeah, I've been around for about a year, a little over a year now. Actually, they have now lowered the qualifications for monetization, and I only have one more to meet, which is my watch time. So I have a playlist now that says everything I've made. I think that's the name of it. And if anyone out there is interested in helping me reach my watch hours, that would be very helpful to me and I'd be very grateful. I'm currently putting all my new videos on it as they come out, and this scares me, but I'm thinking of starting lives, possibly weekly in the mornings, called Mel and the Puppers, maybe? We go out and sit and do stuff in the backyard anyway. Why not invite you all in? Who knows? Let me know what you think. If you'd like to join us on our morning retreat in the backyard, just let me know. Yep, butter's starting to melt. Look at this. Our caramel sauce came out gorgeous, by the way. Let's hope the hot fudge comes out just as good. We're going to have our family, which is my dad and my sister, Schnook, taste test the 2 hot fudges and tell us which they like better. It'll be a blind taste test. They won't know which is the quick hot fudge and which is the fancy hot fudge. Melt, butter, melt. I will bring you back when this is simmering. Okay, it's just starting to simmer. Well, there it goes. So I set the timer. And we're going to let it simmer. It's trying to simmer, but it's thick. So we're going to let it simmer for 45 seconds and then add the chocolate. So, and everybody's coming out in the kitchen right now. Dogs, people. I will be right back. Yes. So we're adding the chocolate. Gently stirring to dissolve. Once it's all dissolved, we remove it from the heat and add the cocoa. And whisk until no lumps remain. And I'll bring you back when that's shown. I haven't gotten all the lumps out yet. Oh, there we go. Right in the frame. Once all the lumps are out, you put it back on low heat and simmer until glossy, whisking constantly, which they say is about 20 seconds. Gosh, it smells good. And so do my dogs think so, but this would be death to them. I'll be back. Okay, we're back on low heat and it just has to simmer. And it's much thicker now. It's already really glossy. I'm not sure how much glossier it's going to get. And after this, you add a half teaspoon of vanilla. And I make my own vanilla, so if anybody wants to know how to do that, you can contact me through my email, which is in the description box or on my About page. Never forget about scraping your sides. That is really glossy. Oh, it smells so good. Not simmering. Oh, my hand hurts. I don't think there will be much crocheting tonight after this. Bubbles? Bubbles? It's like stirring a very thick pudding. Make a good ganache. Oh, bubbles. Teeny tiny bubbles. I'll come back to you when it's done. Okay, it didn't really get much glossier, but it did simmer. And I don't measure my vanilla, but that's about a half a teaspoon. My jug of vanilla. And just stir that in off the heat. And it says serve warm and to reheat, warm in a saucepan over the low heat, stirring constantly and do not boil. So there we go. Oh, smells good. Smells like warm brownies, honestly. So I am going to jar this and, yeah, keep it in the fridge and give it to some friends. And that is what is happening with this and with the next one. And I will see you later. Shine bright like the stars you are, my friends. Bye-bye. Hi guys, it's me Mel again, and we're back on another day. This is on the end of last time we did hot fudge, and we are doing another hot fudge recipe. Now, I had to go and get some more jars and some more heavy whipping cream for this recipe. We are now doing Reed Drummond's. It's an easy hot fudge recipe. It just says hot fudge sauce. It's got 4 ingredients, and it's all dump it all in the saucepan, mix it together, and cook it till it's mixed, and then dump it in a mason jar. So couldn't get easier than that, could it? So let me show you the pan, but first, blue tongue. Yeah, that is from one bite of a kid's birthday cookie that I got over the weekend at my cousin's birthday. Yeah, I was like, oh, I'm going to have some cookie before I start. And then I looked at my tongue in the camera and I'm like, yeah, it got me. So far I've added the sugar and the cocoa, which are equal parts, 2 cups each. And it says use a dark cocoa powder. I'm using Dutch processed cocoa. Smells delicious. And I'm just mixing them up so they're incorporated. You don't want one sitting on top of the other. And then I'm going to, I always like to add my solids together first. I'm just going to add my 2 sticks of butter, which I have cut up because it's always nice to have it in chunks instead of big old solid sticks. You can cut it smaller if you like. I'm going to start the heat now. It wants it on a medium heat. And if you hear that going on and off, it's our dehumidifier. It is quite humid today. And then 2 cups of heavy cream. I'm using heavy whipping cream. And you're just going to cook while stirring until the butter melts and everything is combined. A few minutes, it says. So let's just get everything wet. You can do that before you turn on the heat or after, because since it's on medium heat, it is not going to burn it before you have time to wetten everything, moisten everything. Yeah, get everything all mixed up. I like using a whisk. May not be the best choice since there are big chunks of butter, but I like it because it can sort of scrape the corners and edges. It's like playing in sand and dirt. Now we're getting some of that dark chocolate looking stuff because the butter is melting. Starting to look like a cake mix and smell like a brownie mix. Now this recipe says that some of the reviews, I read them before I chose to make it, said it does not harden up in the fridge. It will stay drizzleable. Drizzleable. That is what they spelled out. Drizzleable. So you wouldn't have to heat it, except if you wanted it warm. So, still trying to make sure I got all those little pockets of cocoa and sugar in the corners, the bottom corners. Don't want any dry pockets. Since I have a gas stove, that's starting to get hot on my fingers. I'm surprised there's no vanilla in this recipe. I might add some. I like a little hint of vanilla. I'll taste it and see. Yeah, they really say just to cook it until the butter's melted and everything's combined, and then transfer to a mason jar. Interesting. Is it really a hot fudge then, or is it a chocolate sauce? Give me your opinions. I'm going to have my dad taste test the 2 hot fudges I made and rank them for top dog and second best. It is quite thick. So I mean, chocolate sauce is thinner. And this is a bit thick. Let's do some butter. And I will link the recipes for both hot fudge sauces in the description box below. I think we may have gotten all of the butter melted. Slow simmer, very tiny bubbles. I'm going for it. Definitely chocolatey. Could definitely use some vanilla. And it says to reheat, do it in a saucepan over medium-low heat. We always just do it in the microwave. But there is that. So I'm going to let it cool a little and then taste it again and see if it needs vanilla. If it does, I will mix it in and then I will jar it. Thanks for the watch. See you later. Shine bright. Addendum. So we let it cool off a little and tasted it, and it tasted okay, but it needed a little something else. So I added about half a teaspoon of salt and about 2 teaspoons of the homemade vanilla that I have, and I'm cooking it a little longer for them to incorporate fully, and on medium-low heat. And I think it'll come out tasting like a nice warm brownie, which will be delicious. I mean, who doesn't want brownie hot fudge poured over their vanilla ice cream? It'd be like a brownie sundae without all the calories of having a brownie on the bottom. So we will check that once it has cooled again. I think it will be delicious. I mean, it was good before, but yeah, sometimes things need just a little more oomph, a little more, to make them really, really tasty. And maybe you would have liked it the way it was. In this family, we just need a little more. So I will let you go, and I will put in the description box what we think of it after this. I won't bother you again. Bye-bye.